So in this session, we're going to be looking at a couple of case studies, which are going to combine many of the things that we have learned. Okay, so let's start off with the wine case study, and here we have the opportunity actually to fix some text, which is something that you should do as well. So the owner of a winery has hired you to describe the qualities of a great wine. Okay, and so we're going to be using here a set of libraries that we have used before. We've used Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn before. We might take a look at NumPy and see what it does a little bit. Okay, so we're going to load the data. This is very quick to load. We look at the shape. So we have 1,599 red wines and 12 attributes, and we have 4,898 white wines and 12 columns. So we run here the info, which gives us the simple thing that everything is a floating point number, so a decimal number, except for quality itself, which is just an integer. And then the good news is that the two data sets are identical in terms of columns, and so we can actually combine them together, which we will be doing. Here we get our descriptive statistics, and it's always useful to look at these. So for example, I thought that red wine had more alcohol than white wine does. But when I look at this, it turns out that that's incorrect. So here's the alcohol of the red wine. So it averages 10.4%, and the median is 8.4. If I got that right, yeah, 10.4, and the average here is 10.5. So they're almost identical. So not very different whatsoever. Sorry, 10.2 is the median, and the average is 10.4. Here, the average is 10.5, and the median is 10.4. So that's something that you learn from doing your exploratory data analysis. Here we look at unique values. Maybe the most important thing here is that we have a small number of quality scores. Okay, so a small number of quality scores. And we have a large number of duplicates, which is interesting. We can think about whether or not we want to delete those duplicates or not. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to merge into one data frame. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new column which indicates the color of the wine. So you can see that here, red and white. And then we're just going to combine the two using our concat method. Okay? So in our concat method, we just pass the two data frames. And then ignore index means that instead of having the two indices from the original data frames, it's going to create a new index. And the reason we want to do that is it would be 0, 1, 2, 3 up to some number for red, and then it would start over at 0 for white wine, right? Because they both have 0, right, as you can see. And so we don't want that. We just want a completely new index, so we create it. Okay, and now the overall thing is 6,497. Okay, and then it has this extra column because we added that column. Okay, so that's the first part of what we're doing here. And then we go to histograms, and the histogram is going to start off with fixed acidicity. You can of course do this for any set of integer attributes, floating point attributes, numerical attributes. And then here we're going to do all of them, right? So we use the histogram on everything. These two functions, plot tight layout, just spaces it out. If you didn't include that, let's see what would happen. So you see it's a little bit overlapped. So plot tight layout, make sure that the overlap is gone. Okay, now we're going to look at two parameters, so quality versus fixed acidicity. So quality is probably the thing that we care about, right? So when the client says what makes a great wine, what they mean is what makes a high quality wine. And so let's look at that. So here we have low quality wine, here is 3, here the high quality wine is at 9. And we can see what is the range of various types of acidicity. So let's look at that. So first of all, at high acidicity, we don't have a lot of data, but it looks like we have some 5s and we have a 7. Okay, over here we have a lot of 6s, okay, and so on and so forth. So that's how you can do the analysis. And then we look at quality versus alcohol with something similar. Okay, so that's the end of this video, and we'll go on to further analysis in the next one.